Hi again, everybody. Back to have a look at another poem. This one is called Christmas Sparrow by Billy Collins. We have probably already looked at several Billy Collins poems. We will be looking at probably many more in the future. He is a poet that students really respond to, um, very accessible, deceptively simple, and then you get inside the poem and you see that he's doing some really remarkable things. So I love Billy Collins. I've learned a lot from him and his. He has been broadcasting from home a little bit every day since COVID-19 started, and so I've enjoyed following him and learning from him. And this one I have not seen him read, but it's a good one. So we're going to have a look at a poem called Christmas Sparrow. Okay. This poem is a little longer, so I'm going to hide myself so you can see the poem in its entirety. Go ahead and read this through. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Okay, so I gave you a little extra time. That's a long poem. And now, if you'll allow me, let's read it again together. Christmas Sparrow. The first thing I heard this morning was a rapid flapping sound, soft, insistent. Wings against glass, as it turned out. Downstairs when I saw the small bird rioting in the frame of a high window, trying to hurl itself through the enigma of glass into the spacious light. Then a noise in the throat of the cat, who was hunkered on the rug, told me how the bird had gotten inside, carried in the cold night through the flap of a basement door, and later released from the soft grip of teeth. On a chair, I trapped its pulsations in a shirt and got it to the door, so weightless it seemed to have vanished into the nest of cloth. But outside, when I uncupped my hands, it burst into its element, dipping over the dormant garden in a spasm of wing beats, then disappeared over a row of tall hemlocks. For the rest of the day, I could feel its wild thrumming against my palms as I wondered about the hours it must have spent, pent in the shadows of that room, hidden in the spiky branches of our decorated tree, breathing there among the metallic angels, ceramic apples, stars of yarn, its eyes open, like mine as I lie in bed tonight, picturing this rare, lucky sparrow, tucked into a holly bush now, a light snow tumbling through the windless dark. So, the wonderful thing about Billy Collins is it's generally a very engaging and easy entrance into the poem. This poem basically just tells a story of a bird that got trapped in the house and he released it. And so all of that is described and in very beautiful and picturesque language. Very clear, everything that's happening, everything he's doing, exactly how things look, very specifically described. And then I think the interesting part of the poem, and the part where we are left to ponder how he's affected by this event, is the last stanza. For the rest of the day, I could feel its wild thrumming against my palms as I wondered about the hours it must have spent pent in the shadows of that room, hidden in the spiky branches of our decorated tree, breathing there among the metallic angels, ceramic apples, stars of yarn, its eyes open, like mine as I lie in bed tonight, picturing this rare, lucky sparrow tucked into a holly bush now, a light snow tumbling through the windless dark. At the end of the poem, I think we're led to compare the experience, because the poet suggests it in that line, its eyes open like mine as I lie in bed tonight. So then I think we begin to consider the experience of the bird and the experience of the speaker and how they intersect. And he imagines how the bird's feeling after this experience, and we get to see how he's feeling after the experience. And I'm wondering what you feel is the takeaway. When this experience is done and he's reflecting on it, what do you think is the takeaway? What is the thing that maybe inspired him to sit down and write this poem about this fairly mundane experience? I think there is something there, and I'd like to see if you can articulate what it is that's left with him after this bird has come and gone. I just want to draw your attention to the third to last line, where he's talking about this rare, lucky sparrow. Now, sparrows, of course, are very common birds. Nothing unique about a sparrow. What makes this sparrow rare has to be the experience that the bird had in his home with his cat, and in his Christmas tree for a number of hours. And what makes this sparrow lucky, of course, is the fact that it had this experience and then gets returned outdoors to go on and live its life. And I think that is a clue that would lead you to think about the speaker's experience in contrast with the bird's experience, and maybe get some ideas generated about the poem and what maybe influenced Collins to write it. The other thing I just want to point out, and Billy Collins does this quite a lot, in the 1, 2, 3rd stanza, last line, he's talking about how the bird came in the house in the mouth of the cat and was later released from the soft grip of teeth. And it's an interesting juxtaposition, the word soft. If you're being clenched in the teeth of a cat, I'm not thinking that feels very soft. The soft grip of teeth is a little jarring because you don't imagine that to be soft. I mean, of course, it was gently gripped enough that the bird survived it, but an interesting contrast. It makes me think of the poem that we read, Bonsai, where he climbs up to the top of the tree and is looking for a tiny whale. Whales are generally not tiny. We don't put tiny and whale together in our minds very much, but sometimes by doing that, it's surprising. It's unexpected. It's not that it doesn't fit. It's just sort of out of the ordinary, and just I think something to notice about poets and how they use language. So that's Christmas Sparrow, and the assignment or response would be to explain to me the correlation between the bird and the speaker, and also how you think the speaker is different, or what impression he's left with, realization, impression, how is he changed after having this bird come in through his window and spend some time in his house before he sets it free. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed Christmas Sparrow, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.